Ayelet Fischbach is a leading psychologist and expert in motivation and decision-making. In this book, she explores a simple but powerful question: why do we often know exactly what we want, yet still fail to achieve it? Many people believe that motivation comes from willpower alone, but science shows us a very different story. We set goals with good intentions, to be healthier, more productive, or more successful, but somewhere along the way, we lose focus. This book explains that the problem is not laziness or lack of ambition. Instead, it is the way we understand motivation, progress, and effort. Through clear examples and research-based insights, this audiobook will help you understand how motivation really works. You will learn practical tools to stay focused, overcome distractions, and turn intention into action. Before we begin, if you enjoy audiobooks that help you grow, stay focused, and build better habits, don't forget to subscribe and support this channel. Now, let's begin the journey toward getting things done the smart way. Chapter 1: How to Set Goals the Smart Way. Setting goals is something we all do, but setting the right goals is much harder. Many people feel motivated at the beginning, then slowly lose energy and give up. This is not because they are lazy or weak. It is often because the goal itself was not built in a way that supports motivation. Understanding how goals work in the mind is the first step toward real progress. One important idea is the difference between means goals and end goals. End goals are the big outcomes we want, such as being healthy, successful, or confident. Means goals are the actions that help us get there, like exercising, studying, or practicing a skill. When we focus only on the end goal, it can feel far away and overwhelming. Focusing on means goals makes progress feel possible and clear. A strong goal must also have personal meaning. Goals that come from pressure, comparison, or expectations of others rarely last. When a goal connects to your own values and identity, it creates natural motivation. Ask yourself why this goal matters to you, not to society or social media. A meaningful goal feels like a choice, not a burden. Clarity is another key element. Vague goals like "I want to do better" or "I want to be successful" do not guide action. Clear goals tell your brain exactly what to do. When a goal is specific and simple, it reduces confusion and mental resistance. Clarity turns intention into direction. It is also important to build goals that energize, not exhaust. Goals that are too big or too strict can create fear and pressure. Instead, a motivating goal feels challenging but realistic. It leaves room for learning and mistakes. When your goal feels possible, your brain is more willing to engage and stay consistent. In the end, smart goal setting is about working with your psychology, not against it. Choose goals that focus on actions, reflect your values, and give you clear direction. When a goal feels meaningful and manageable, motivation becomes something you build every day, not something you wait for. Chapter 2: The Power of Progress and Measuring It. Progress is one of the strongest sources of motivation, yet many people lose their excitement shortly after they begin. At the start of a new goal, everything feels fresh and hopeful. Over time, effort increases while results may feel slow, and motivation begins to fade. This does not mean the goal is wrong, it simply means the brain needs visible signs of movement to stay engaged. One reason motivation drops is that we often focus too much on how far we still have to go. When the goal feels distant, the mind becomes tired and discouraged. Instead of feeling proud of what we have already done, we think only about what remains unfinished. This mindset quietly drains energy and makes quitting feel tempting. Measuring progress changes this completely. When you track what you have achieved, even in small steps, your brain receives a clear signal: I am moving forward. This feeling of advancement creates satisfaction and renews motivation. Progress does not need to be big to matter. Consistency is far more powerful than speed. Simple tracking tools can make a big difference. Writing down completed tasks, checking off days of practice, or noting small improvements helps make progress visible. These small records act as proof that your effort is working, even when results are not yet dramatic. Achievement itself becomes fuel. Each small win builds confidence and encourages the next step. Instead of waiting for a final reward, you begin to enjoy the process of moving forward. Motivation shifts from hoping for success to trusting your own effort. In the end, progress is not just about reaching the goal, it is about staying connected to it. When you measure and celebrate small steps, you turn effort into encouragement. This steady sense of movement keeps motivation alive and makes long-term success feel possible and calm, rather than stressful or overwhelming. Chapter 3: How to Overcome Distractions and Temptations. Distractions are not a sign of weakness. They are part of being human. Our minds are naturally drawn to what feels easy, fun, or urgent, even when it pulls us away from what truly matters. In a world full of notifications, noise, and endless choices, staying focused has become a daily challenge. Understanding this is the first step toward regaining control. Self-discipline is not about forcing yourself with pressure or guilt. It is about making smart decisions before temptation appears. Instead of relying on willpower alone, disciplined people design their lives in a way that makes good choices easier. They don't fight distractions all the time, they reduce them in advance. One powerful method is learning how to redirect your attention. When you feel distracted, don't judge yourself. Simply notice it. Take a breath and gently bring your focus back to the task at hand. Even a few minutes of conscious focus, repeated often, can train your mind to stay present for longer periods. Another important strategy is controlling your environment. Your surroundings strongly influence your behavior. If your phone is always within reach, it will call for your attention. If social media is one click away, it becomes harder to resist. Small changes, like putting your phone in another room or turning off notifications, can make a big difference. It also helps to replace temptations instead of just removing them. For example, if you are tempted to scroll when you feel bored, prepare a simple alternative, like reading one page of a book or standing up for a short walk. Giving your mind a healthier option makes change feel less painful and more natural. In the end, overcoming distractions is not about being perfect. It is about progress. Each time you choose focus over temptation, even for a short moment, you strengthen your ability to stay on track. Over time, these small wins build confidence, clarity, and a deeper sense of control over your goals. Before we continue the book, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Your support helps us bring you more amazing audiobooks every week. Chapter 4: The Role of Emotions in Motivation. Emotions play a much bigger role in motivation than we often realize. Many people think success depends only on logic, discipline, and strong plans. But in reality, emotions are always present in the background, shaping how we feel about our goals and whether we move toward them or away from them. Understanding this emotional layer helps us work with our feelings instead of fighting them. Positive emotions like excitement, pride, and hope can give us energy and make action feel easier. When you feel good about your progress, you are more likely to continue. This is why celebrating small wins matters. Each small success creates a positive emotion that pushes you forward and reminds you that your effort is worth it. At the same time, negative emotions are not always bad. Feelings like frustration, disappointment, or even guilt can sometimes motivate change. They can act as signals, telling you that something is not working and needs adjustment. The problem begins when these emotions become overwhelming and stop you from acting instead of guiding you. This is why it is important to know when to trust your emotions and when not to. If an emotion helps you reflect, learn, or improve, it can be useful. But if an emotion only creates fear, avoidance, or self-criticism, it may not deserve full control over your decisions. Learning to pause and observe your feelings gives you space to choose your response wisely. One powerful strategy is to connect your goals to emotions that matter deeply to you. For example, instead of focusing only on the effort a task requires, focus on how achieving it will make you feel more confident, more free, or more at peace. This emotional connection turns goals into something personal, not just another obligation. In the end, motivation becomes stronger when emotions are treated as tools, not enemies. By understanding your feelings, guiding them gently, and using them with intention, you can stay motivated even when things get difficult. Emotional awareness does not replace discipline, but it supports it and makes the journey toward your goals more human and more sustainable. Chapter 5: From Planning to Action. Many people have good intentions, clear plans, and strong wishes, yet nothing changes in real life. This is because there is often a gap between what we plan to do and what we actually do. Thinking and planning feels safe, but action feels uncomfortable. Understanding this gap is the first step toward closing it and turning ideas into real results. One reason this gap exists is that we underestimate obstacles. We imagine the goal, but we ignore the difficulties along the way. When problems appear, motivation drops, and we stop. The mind says, "I'll start later," or "now is not the right time." This is normal, but it can be managed with simple psychological tools. One powerful tool is imagining obstacles in advance. Instead of only visualizing success, take a moment to think about what might go wrong. You might feel tired, distracted, bored, or afraid. When you name these obstacles early, they lose some of their power. You are no longer surprised by them. The next step is creating simple backup plans. Ask yourself, if this problem happens, what will I do? For example, if you feel tired, you may decide to work for just 5 minutes. If you feel distracted, you may turn off notifications. These small plans protect your goal when motivation is low. Over time, repeated actions become habits. Habits do not need motivation, they work automatically. When you do something at the same time or in the same way every day, your brain learns the pattern. This makes progress easier and more natural. In the end, success is not about perfect planning. It is about consistent action, even when conditions are not ideal. When you prepare for obstacles, create simple plans, and build supportive habits, action becomes easier. Step by step, planning turns into progress, and goals slowly become part of your daily life. As we reach the end of this audiobook, one message becomes very clear: achieving your goals is not just about being smart or talented. It is about understanding how motivation really works. When you set meaningful goals, track your progress, manage your emotions, and shape your environment, you give yourself real power to move forward. Small, consistent actions matter more than sudden bursts of effort. This book reminds us that motivation is not something you wait for. It is something you build. By turning intentions into clear plans, preparing for obstacles, and creating habits that support your goals, you reduce the gap between what you want and what you actually do. Progress itself becomes a source of energy, pushing you to continue even when things feel hard. Before you go, choose just one idea from this audiobook and apply it this week. It could be tracking your progress, planning for distractions, or setting a clearer goal. One small step is enough to start real change. Remember, getting things done is not about perfection, it is about understanding yourself and taking action, one step at a time.